Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk. Back again with you guys for another episode of the Gooner Talk. Hope you're doing good and well as you join me for our 8 a.m. show on match day. Back again to talk about all the Arsenal news that's been covered in the last 48 hours because there wasn't a show on Saturday. I know that I sat here on Friday and said there's going to be no show tomorrow and so therefore we'll be back on Saturday, but that's again, my brain leaving its senses, so apologies for that. I did message in the chat box at the end, but probably a lot of you missed it. So apologies that there was no show yesterday, but that was the one day off of the week that I was having. But there's plenty to discuss in the last 48 hours that has happened. Some massive results. I'll tell you what, Burnley were absolutely brilliant again, and everybody, including myself, that has judged the club for making the decision to get rid of Sean Dyche, I tell you, that is looking an incredibly good decision now that they decided to do it. So it shows you how quickly things can change in the world of football. The reason why there was no preview show yesterday was because of actually this. I was in London last night going to see the Foles, who are, just incredibly good. If you're not into that type of music, fair enough. But if you haven't listened to Foles, you need to make sure you listen to Foles because they're just so good. I know that my main kind of vibe is drum and bass, but Foles has always been there. But the problem with this shirt that was purchased last night is that if I change the contrast of the lighting, it does this. So it's actually multifaceted when I do it with the green screen on. So that's why you'll see me in this kind of bathed light when when having this shirt on. But good morning to everybody in the chat box. Hope you're doing good and well. Good morning to Sartovic, to Clear Away Dave, Tony, Jose. Good morning, guys. Matt, Paul, Gooner Legend, Matt, Tom, Daunton. Sorry, Paul. Good morning, mate. Stevie, Kevin, Matt G. Good morning to all of you. Canoe Perez. We're going to talk about that in a sec, Perez. Don't you worry. Steve Stone, Prince, Morgie, Rohit. Good morning, guys. John, Lars, Chips and Peas, who I've not seen in the chat box for a while, so welcome back, mate. Ali, Mike, Daz, good morning to everybody. Hope you're all doing good and well, and I hope indeed that your mornings is going to be extended a good morning into the afternoon as Arsenal face off against West Ham United. And of course, Leicester try to take some points against Spurs. Please give us a big helping hand. We really do need some help there. But without further ado, let's crack on with today's stories. Please make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new, because it really does help us out. And as always, we welcome the feedback in the chat as well, and in the chat box and the comment section too. So please make sure you do leave your comments throughout. And if you're watching on backup or catch up, make sure you leave your comments in the comment section as well, because it really does help us out. Let's talk you through some of the articles from myself that did go out yesterday. We did one on looking at Palermo being 80% bought out by Manchester City. Palermo will then become part of that City football group, which makes it even trickier for Arsenal to kind of, access the market and compete with Manchester City. That is going to be... They're just an incredibly dominant force in football now, our City, and Palermo in Italy will be their first Italian club that they add in to their roster. Then another piece on the 10 or the 11 actually relegation candidates. I did a relegation lineup in yesterday's articles. So players that we could sign from relegated clubs: Ismail Assar, Max Aarons, Anthony Gordon, all featured. If you want to check out who else made that list, go on the link in the description and go through to my Football London page. And then another piece, with the help of our very own Manu Clerks in the chat box as well, who, along with some fantastic insight about Charles de Ketelaere, who is a Belgian international and Club Brugge or Bruges forward, 6'3" striker, really exciting young 21-year-old, and actually asking the question, why aren't Arsenal linked with him, considering the fact that they are heavily looking for a striker? So with the help of Manu, and who's done some fantastic work on HLN for some Belgian scouting and Belgian football, we discussed Charles de Ketelaere. So make sure you do go and check that one out. And there was one other piece that went out yesterday, which is on the I say brand new, it's not brand new, but very new to my world at least, and became aware of this on Friday specifically, was Lewis Dunford's The Angel, which is a song about North London and the nostalgia of our very special home in which Arsenal resides. And it's very rare that you kind of see a song of an original sense capture a fan base, capture fans quite like this did. Like, there's songs that are always played at the Emirates that try to attach themselves to the club. You think of London Calling, that's played a lot of the Emirates by the Clash, but there's very few songs that really are captured by a local feeling, and Dunford's done an amazing job with this song. And there's discussions about whether or not he should change the lyrics and put Arsenal in there. I don't think he should. I think the song is perfect as is. And actually, I think that the fact that Arsenal isn't in the song, and it's kind of just, hinted towards with the talk of Highbury and the stadiums of stone and things like this, I hope that as Matt says in the chat, I hope it really takes off, because it's a fantastic tune, really nostalgic song. And it's really, as he describes it, quite football chanty in the chorus. So I would say keep as is, and I'm hoping that the Arsenal fans take it on. If they do tweak it to make it more Arsenal related, then fair enough. We do that with lots of songs. But it is a brilliant, brilliant tune. And if you haven't checked out The Angel by Lewis Dunford, make sure you go and do that. Let's crack on, though, with the main stories of the day. And firstly, I do want to send our condolences and our thoughts and feelings to the family of Mino Raiola, and of course all of the people that were associated with him. No matter what people think of agents, anyone's passing is tragic, and this was unfortunately a situation that a lot of people did not cover themselves in glory with at all in the reporting of his death, and especially ahead of his time, but has now, we know, passed away. So our condolences are with his family and everybody that was very close to him, and of course Arsenal players as well, would have had their connections and links through to him, and potential Arsenal players as well. So the ramifications of Raiola's passing, I'm sure, will be massive on football, and that kind of shows the influence that he had on the game. So we'll see what happens in the future with Arsenal's transfer targets, but condolences as always. We kick off the main bulk of the Arsenal direct related news with the Gabriel Jesus scoring yet again, and getting on the score sheet for the 6th time in 3 games. He is just incredibly on fire right now and producing a ridiculous number of goals in a short space of time. Clinical finishing at its finest. I know it wasn't the hardest game against Leeds by any means, but again, a really good touch and finish. And it's that we want to see at Arsenal next season. We want to see this quality. We want to see this potential. A 25-year-old available for a very, very accessible figure around £30 million. If Arsenal can get this deal done, which it clearly seems as though, we want to see this type of player at the club, a player that can play for Manchester City, start for Manchester City, getting into the Arsenal team. Wow, it's quite a run of form that he's on, but I hope that Arsenal can get this one done. Now, this one's a brand new one on me. I really had not heard of Hickey, Aaron Hickey, who plays for Bologna, who, of course, we know plenty about because we signed Tomiyasu from Bologna. He's a left-back, 19-year-old, playing pretty much all of their games. He's got 5 goals and 1 assist for Bologna this season, playing in a left wing-back role. Has also played in a right wing-back position as well a couple of times, and at right-back. He's very versatile for a full-back, and I think that's what Arsenal are looking at. He's both-footed. He can use both feet very, very comfortably. Very ambidextrous. Probably not to the level of Santi Cazorla just yet, but can use both feet very, very comfortably. And it's a player that Arsenal are said to have an interest in, along with a lot of teams. 19 years of age, so much potential. Playing in Serie A, already ranked at £13.5 million by Transfermarkt. Expect this to be a player that moves Scottish international, and will compete with Kieran Tierney, of course, for that position could be the perfect player for us to go and bring in to really cover both of those positions. Let's see what happens with him, though, in the near future. And the other player linked with us from Serie A is Scamacca. Now, Scamacca is a young Italian striker playing for Sassuolo, who I had completely ruled out the possibility of leaving this summer, considering he only just signed a brand new contract with the club within the last couple of months. So the fact that he's being linked with Arsenal again, and Arsenal are said to be very, very interested now, supposedly in Scamacca, is really odd. I find it really strange. But again, it's always tough to get Italian players out of Italy. Juventus were one of the main teams that were interested in him. However, since they have bought Dusan Vlahovic, that move for Scamacca is effectively done. It's over. But he's a player with incredible height and aerial ability, 6'5" plus, good in the air, good striker, good finisher. And would be very contrasting to Gabriel Jesus. And another player that a lot of people would really like to see Arsenal go for in the summer transfer window as well. So certainly one to keep an eye on, and we'll keep you updated with any other developments on this story into the near future. Now, Arsenal play West Ham United tonight, and they are expected. There are rumours flying around that teenager Alese, who is a centre-back, could be coming into the team for, I think, his first Premier League start. For West Ham, they are very, very light at the back. Craig Dawson is out suspended. Zuma picked up another little knock in the game against Frankfurt. They're unsure whether or not he will be available for this game, despite coming back to not full fitness, but as fit as he could be to start the game. They're without Diop. They're without Ogbonna. Who they play today is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Meanwhile, Arsenal can rely on Takahiro Tomiyasu, who makes my team for today. There wasn't a preview, as I said yesterday, so no preview show this week. There will be the preview show returning for the next 3 games at least. And Tomiyasu makes my team with an unchanged side regarding the rest of the team. It picks itself. White, Gabriel, Tavares, Elneny, Xhaka, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Nketiah, Smith Rowe, and Aaron Ramsdale in between the sticks. I think this team's got plenty enough to get a result today, and we're also going to be hoping that Leicester City can pick up a result against Spurs. We can all keep our fingers crossed that this is going to be the case. And that completes all of today's stories, which means we'll move on now to the chat box and your questions after this short break. Right, let's jump into the chat. I know we've had a brand new couple of members sign up, so massive, massive welcome. And please, chat box, show them a very, very warm welcome to Abe in the chat. Or Abe, please tell me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly or correctly. I need to know because I will make mistakes. So thank you for the support, mate. I really appreciate that. And welcome to the family. MRM as well. Thank you so much for coming up with some more support for the channel. See you in the chat box a lot, as always, and constantly asking questions, throwing in comments. So welcome to the crew. There will be a link for the Discord server put into the community tab if you are indeed becoming an expert member or a TGT ambassador. If you'd like to join a Discord server, that is exactly how you do it. You become a member and you go and look at the community tab on the YouTube page after the show. And yeah, it'd be mad today. The Game Time channel in the Discord server goes off during the game. 24-hour TGT chat box, basically. If you enjoy being in our chat box for our shows, it's like that, but all day on lots of other stuff. I mean, what have we got now in this Discord server? We got music, gaming, MLS, boxing, cricket, movies, Formula 1, rugby, fitness, reading. The ITK rate is a good one as well, especially during the transfer window. It helps you steer clear of the fake stories that are coming out on social media. Fantasy football. We've got a Let's Just Talk channel, which has been fantastic lately because some of our members, I know Bradley are going through their finals right now, and so a lot of people have been getting a lot of their kind of emotional and mental support from the members, which has been absolutely fantastic to see. So thank you to everybody that makes that Discord server such a brilliant community and place to be in there. And I know that it's been fantastic of late, so make sure if you are joining, help to make it an even better place than it is already. Let's crack on though with the questions, and we'll go through those as quickly as feasibly possible. Abe and MRM, you're very, very welcome indeed. Patrick, what lineup do you expect from West Ham today? This is I was going to say the $1 million question, but actually, when you consider it's Champions League, it's kind of like the £50 million question, because it's so important that we, of course, get where we need to go. In terms of what I'm expecting from West Ham, I'm just going to have a quick check of their lineup for the game against Frankfurt the other day, because that should give us some indication about who is and isn't available and who they might go for during this game. We'll also check their lineup for the Chelsea game. For Chelsea, when they rested players, Ben Rama started with Yarmolenko and Pablo Fornals. I don't know if Antonio will start this game. I went to Foles yesterday with a West Ham fan who was actually talking about the fact that if they win against us, they overtake Manchester United into 6th. So it's actually quite an important game for them still, and David Moyes will be wanting to win it because he knows that if they don't win the Europa League, they could still miss out on even Europa League football next season. So it's important, as is the Europa League. It's a very, very difficult one to balance. Sofal, Johnson, I expect to start on the right-hand side. Masuaku, Cresswell, I expect also to start on the left-hand side. I don't know if Declan Rice will be rested or not. He did come off the bench against Chelsea. But then you've got Alese, this very young Agi Alese centre-back. Don't know if he'll play. Jarrod Bowen, don't know if he'll play. Lanzini, Vlasic, Antonio, I don't know, ultimately, who is going to play in this game. But what we do know is Dawson will not be there. Zuma supposedly picked up a little bit of a knock and could be rested as well and be made available for the game against Frankfurt. It's going to be very difficult to know who starts. But to be honest, even if West Ham play their full-strength team, Arsenal need to be looking at this game as an opportunity to pick up maximum points and move towards that top 4 place still. Whilst we would think about as a draw being a good result usually away at West Ham, it just isn't. And, we've shown this season that we can batter West Ham. We did it in December. We had a fantastic result and a fantastic game against them. Hopefully we can repeat that story again. Walk says, why have you not chose Martinelli? I think he'll fare better than Smith Rowe during this match. The reason why I've not gone with Martinelli is because we have Tomiyasu back. Now, that might seem strange, but Tomiyasu being back is interesting because I think it will have a defining impact on Nuno Tavares. And the thing about Nuno Tavares is that he performs so much better when he's playing with Smith Rowe, because Smith Rowe tends to drift inside, which allows their space for Tavares to overlap. And with Tomiyasu back in the team, Tavares has more security with the 3 defenders alongside him to give him that security to then push forwards. And so when he's pushing forwards, he's a lot better with Emil Smith Rowe. So, Walk, that's the reason why I've gone with Smith Rowe for this game, because Tomiyasu is back. If he wasn't, I would be more tempted to stick with Martinelli. And I did consider that. Going up against 2 fullbacks, though, he may find it slightly difficult. So I kind of like the idea of Smith Rowe and Tavares stretching their back 5. Let's go to Daz, who says, do you think Martinelli starts instead of Smith Rowe? I don't know. He could very much well start. I'm just, from my opinion, if both of them are fully fit, I'm picking Smith Rowe. Morgan says, do you agree? Hardest game for AFC are Newcastle. They're playing well, big support, and Leeds, as we have to win those. A draw at West Ham and Spurs will probably do. Old kid never heard of Foles. Tube Music search. Mate, Morgie, you need to go and check it out, mate. They're very, very good. If you like your alternative rock, they are excellent. So go and do it. But they were amazing last night. Some of the guitar parts were insane. I'm hopefully going to put. I would love to put some videos up, but I can't because I'm going to get done for copyright, unfortunately. But yeah, really, 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 really good. Really, really good. Would recommend. Wildly recommend going and checking them out. They're an English band, so I mean I understand if abroad it's not necessarily the most well known, but they are one of the biggest UK bands. So yeah, check them out. Social says, who will get new deals before the start of next season? Oh, that's a good question. El Neni, Saka. Who else will get a new deal? El Neni, Saka, maybe Martinelli. Who else will? Brooke Norton-Cuffy, maybe. Gabriel. It might make sense to get Gabriel a new contract. It's been 2 years since he's been here. There's kind of that 2-year cycle. Sometimes there has been rumours that he might be getting a new deal. So we'll have to wait and see if that is certainly ones that we are looking to do. And Martin says Newcastle were balling yesterday. Look, Newcastle is going to be up there with our toughest game that we've got left this season. And the narrative around that game and them not wanting us to qualify for the Champions League is certainly going to be there. Amir says, hi Tom, have you ever thought about inviting Mark Goldbridge on the show? He's one of the ones who believe Arsenal are on the right path. It'd be great to talk with him. I have had Mark on the show before when we've talked about Memphis Depay, and we did a preview show last season. Maybe next season when we play Man United again. I don't mind Mark. I think Mark's fine now. He's not everyone's cup of tea. But enjoy having a chat with Mark when it's available. Dirk says, what has to happen for us mathematically to secure top 4 before the end of the season? So, basically, if we want to win it at Spurs, if we win our next 2 games against West Ham and Leeds, and they drop points against Leicester or Liverpool, either one of those 2, a draw or a loss, in either one, they can win one and, draw or lose the other. If we then win at Spurs, which would mean winning our next 3 games, we get top 4. It's as simple as that. We'd be 8 points clear, I think, at that point, and then you can't catch us in the last 2 games. And that would be just glorious. Just absolutely glorious. So Tomiyasu's coming back at the perfect time. GS says, what do you think Mohamed will get a new deal? Yeah, I kind of do. I feel like there might be a 1-year extension in the offing for Mohamed El Neni. Of all the players that are running out of contract, being that Nketiah and Lacazette, I have a feeling that El Neni might get a 1-year contract extension. It's just how I feel about that. Oliver says, is Smith Rowe still on a low wage? Not really. I think his wage has been upped to around £80,000 per week. So I don't think it's that low, but it's still low in comparison to, say, Lacazette, who's producing nothing close to what Smith Rowe is producing. Harvey says, Tom, are you feeling any nerves before the upcoming games? Always. It's just part of being an Arsenal fan, nerves. It's what it is, because you don't know what's going to happen. You do not know what's going to happen at Arsenal. It's impossible to try and predict what this club will do because they are just so temperamental. But fingers crossed we can get a result today, because it would be absolutely massive. Speaking of which, you're actually going to get 2 more shows today. There will be a show for you on the whistle at full time. Not working today. Glorious. So going to be able to watch the game and, of course, do an on the whistle show for you guys. So make sure you join us at full time. And then tonight we're going to do a podcast. Hopefully I'm going to be joined by Owen and French and Drew to have a chat about the game, about what it means, about the permutations of it going forwards. And, of course, we'll have seen the Leicester result and the Spurs result by that point. So we'll have a much better idea about where we stand and what needs to happen in the next few games. So that'll be at 8 o'clock UK time tonight. So make sure you join us for that one. It's going to be good. And I can't wait to have the familiar faces and the regulars back on the show, because it's been a long time since we've done a proper podcast with our regulars. So definitely so. Job says, remember to shout out the Arsenal fans from Kenya. West Ham 3, Arsenal 0. Let's get your predictions into the chat box to wrap up today's show, people. So get your scorelines in there, and we'll be going through as many of them as possible. I'm going to go for... Oh, what am I going for? What did I say on the Arsenal lounge? I'm trying to remember, because we definitely did our prediction. Did I say 3-0? I have a feeling I might have said 3-0. And I know I'm mad, but I have a weird feeling I might have said 3-0. So I'm going to stick with that. 3-0 Arsenal. Lovely stuff. Social says 3-2 Arsenal. Christopher 1-1. Daz 4-0 to the Arsenal. Oliver going for a 3-1 win. Sustainable Life. I'm hoping that these are to the Arsenal, because we are away from home. Sustainable Life says 2-1, sorry. Morning to Wilson. Hope you're doing good, mate. Harvey 2-0 Arsenal. Wow says 4-0 to the Arsenal. Michael says 1-0 Arsenal. Matt says 2-0 Nketiah and Saka. Gunny going for a 2-0 as well. Patrick Coulson with a 4-3. What a game that would be. Hopefully we come out on the right end of that scoreline. Temi going for a 1-0. Anton going for a more reserved 1-1 scoreline there. Abe going for a 3-0. Deep 11 going for a 4-0 to the Arsenal. That would be absolutely glorious. That would indeed. Olu says Arsenal 5, West Ham United 1. Byron says 2-1 to the Arsenal. Steve H 4-1 to the Arsenal. Wilson's prediction is Arsenal 3, West Ham 1. Steve going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. And Max going for a 2-0 Arsenal win. Thank you so much, guys, for throwing in your predictions into the chat box. It's good to see so much positivity. I mean, imagine if we'd have played this game after the loss against Southampton. It would have been a significantly different set of results, I imagine, that you would be predicting in the chat box. So thank you for the positivity. Thank you for your listenership. Thank you for viewing the show and the channel as always. Please do go and drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new. We do consistent 8 a.m. show 6 out of 7 days a week. We'll be producing transfer dedicated videos around all of our transfer targets across the summer transfer window with experts on those players. And of course, we'll be doing our match reaction shows for the games that are left with today's On the Whistle. So do make sure you join us. Turn the notifications on so you make sure you never miss one of these shows. And you can also watch or listen to these on audio-only platforms as well. Link to all of our information is in the description at the link tree. And if you'd like to help support the channel and become a member and then get the benefits of joining our Discord server and getting to use the facts of these brilliant emojis that you get in the chat box too, you just need to click the link in the description and follow the information from there. I will see you at full time. Let's hope for a massive, massive win today. It would be very much appreciated. See you soon. Have a great day. And as always, up the Arsenal.